Welcome to this month's episode of the Bold Women Table, where our motto is live boldly, age wisely, and manifest intentionally. Today, we're talking about money, not in a dramatic or side hustle type of way, but in how it really shows up for us day to day and what we're still figuring out. So grab your favorite beverage, coffee, tea, wine, beer, and join us at the table. We're going to start off. We're going to start off by introducing ourselves before we jump into today's questions. Jazz, would you like to go first?
Sure. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the show. And so, yeah, my channel is about traveling, guys, and I'm your travel buddies. And on the channel, I'm talking about, discovering what this wonderful world has to offer and really closing the gap between what we think of other people. The more you travel, the more you see that we are so um, different and at the same time the same. We all looking for the same places, regardless of where you go to Australia, Timbuktu. We're all looking for love, financial safety, and shelter, whatever. So yeah, I invite you to live boldly, and yeah, so that's me.
Mhm. Kimberly?
Oh, hi everybody. I'm Kimberly, and my channel is about me. When I say that, I share, my past experiences, whether it's like bad bosses, bad relationship, bad experiences, and I also share, things that I manifest in life and the things I continue to want to manifest or what I want to manifest. And I also kind of give you the wisdom of my brain. I say it's a different part of me, it's not me that sometimes that is talking. I'll start a video and then the brain will start talking, and it will flow into its own thing. And so that's basically me.
Hi, I'm Vicky, and my channel is Aging on Your Terms, and I share my family's drama and chaos to help you plan to have a much better life than they did. You don't want to repeat their mistakes and not have the things that you need as you age. It's no shame in aging, and that's what we're going to talk about on my channel all the time. So, before we jump right back into money, how the Bold Women's Table works is we have three questions. Each one of us will ask a question. We will all answer and give our truth. This is real talk, no fluff. We don't hold back. And we invite you to reflect on these same questions. If you feel like it, answer in the chat or just keep it to yourself. There's no right or wrong here. We don't want to force you into, sharing your truth because sometimes it's a little personal, especially this topic today when we're talking about
Mhm.
money. So I'm going to start it off and I'm going to ask the first question. What does feeling financially okay mean to you right now?
It means I don't have to get up and worry about money every day. It just means that I'm not in debt. And the
Right.
first thought that comes to my head is not who do I have to pay this month? Do I have to juggle this money so I can pay this, but then leave that out? That's what financially okay means to me. Because I know what it is to be on that end where
Mm-hmm.
every cent counts, like literally.
Yes.
Mm. My
Yep.
answer may be a little bit unconventional.
No, it's okay.
Because when it comes to money, I always had that detachment with money, and I take that with my mom. So for me, I could have £0 on my account and feel financially okay.
Mm-hmm.
I have that belief very young that money flow through me, and it's not being vain or whatever about that. It's like I could give whatever I have, everything to help somebody, not having anything, but being sure that it will come back to me one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
So, what it means for me is really flexibility. As a traveler, as a nomad, being financially okay means that I don't feel trapped by money,
Mm-hmm.
as a currency. There's all other ways. Being able to move, like being on the go. And I never leave like, a lot of people say, okay, yes, we need money for everything. I agree, right?
Mhm.
I'm okay to earn while I'm living. That's why I can start a trip, not
Mhm.
having the whole money worked out, but I will walk along the way. I think it's being free to that ability to still earn money as we go. And um, I don't know. For me, financially being okay doesn't mean being rich at all. It means, and rich means what for who, right?
Mm.
Um, I don't know. It just means like life is not on hold. That's
Right.
sorry. That's me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right. Rich is very subjective. For
yeah,
me, being financially okay is that my needs are being met.
yeah,
My needs as defined by me, not
mm,
by society and not by
yeah,
capitalism. And
yeah.
so that's when you're constantly running around keeping up with the Joneses, you always feel like you don't have enough money. So, it's kind of like what you and Kimberly were both saying together is it I'm free to be me. My money supports the me that I've defined.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
Um. Okay. I think I'm the one asking the next question.
Yes.
Yeah. So, guys, have you ever realized you were more stressed about money than the situation actually deserved? Did you feel well overwhelmed by any situation about money? Like, and then it was not that big of a
Oh.
deal.
Do you want me to go first, Kimberly?
Yeah, yeah, you can go first.
This all goes back to being laid off.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought that because of my age, I didn't have enough money to retire, that I needed to sweat several more years in order to have enough money to say I was financially ready to retire. And I stressed over that. I made myself sick over that. And going back to the first question, I had to finally sit down and say, what do I really need? What's the kind of lifestyle I really want? Not the lifestyle that's out there, not the Instagram perfect, not all the Pinterest and have, my house be, 7,000 square feet and, gilded toilets and all of that. What is the true life that you want to live? And then once I sat down and did that, then I realized I was stressing for nothing because I have the money to live that simple life that I wanted to live.
That question actually brings me back to a memory of when I was living paycheck to paycheck. Then I met the amazing saver, my husband. And I recognize that this guy, he has it all together. Like, he just knows how to manage his money. And I was like, listen, well, since you're so good at money, like, I need you to help me. This is all the things that I pay for. And, I don't know how to manage my money. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I have a good job, but like, this is really frustrating. And when he was done with me, it was like, you don't need that. Why are you paying for that? Why do you have this? Like, just get rid of these things. And then the first month that I actually saved money, and that was the first month that I saved money on my own, was because I was so stressed out. I thought that, I needed all these things when really and truly I didn't need a lot of them. And I was bold enough to cut back on things that I should have cut back on a long time ago. Um and that really opened up my eyes, like, that we always think that we need this, and I need to have that, and I need that for this to work. And I all you need to you already have all that you need, but we put ourselves in debt and more debt because our
Mm,
brain goes, oh, I have a little bit more so I could spend on this, or I have a little more I could spend on that. And what he taught me in that moment was, stop looking to see how much money you have to spend. You have to figure out, what you don't need, get rid of those things. And yeah, like, literally, like, because I was it was a photo of, like, things that I wrote down, and he literally
Mhm.
circled the bottom and was like, you can get rid of all those things. I'm like, how? What are you talking about? You don't need that. What? Tell me what. And literally, like, he was like, very like serious, and you go to the manager, and he's like, listen. And that was eye opener for me. So I would say that was the time for me that that question
Yeah,
brought
it's
forth.
amazing how other people can take a look at things and help us get that detachment from it. It's kind of like when we were helping my in-laws, declutter. They couldn't detach from certain things, and so you need somebody else to come in and say, maybe you don't need this broken coffee pot. Maybe you don't need to play for, Netflix and HBO and Hulu and everything else. Maybe you can just whittle it down from 10 to maybe 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually agree with both of you in the sense where my example is also um, believing that I needed. Okay, let me come back. In a few years back, my husband and I both got unemployed, and my husband say unemployed for a long time is the highest earner, and so we were afraid to lose our house, right? But the truth is, our house, we've been here for 20 odd years. It's almost, it has doubled its value, right? And so we had options. We had so many options. But at that time, there was so much stress about, the money situation and, if we're losing the house, if we can't pay the mortgage anymore, etc. But at the end of the day, when we sat down and put our account and whatever, seeing what the situation was around, we had options. There's a lot of people that don't have options,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
Where the house value is, we could have sold that house and then get equity enough to go buy something. So, yes, it was a stressful situation to not have a income coming
Hmm.
in. I was at some point I had my income, my husband didn't have, and we're living with our oldest daughter, two young adult daughter who were working. So all of us put the money together and we managed that time. But I know all of us were stressed just because we couldn't shop for, and it's a bit like what you said, Kim and Vicky. Kim, you said about like always wanting more because you're spending that amount. And we were used to a certain amount, spending the way we wanted. Like
Yes.
if you want to go shopping, you go to the shop and you don't look at the, not that you don't look at the price. I'm frugal, they don't look at the price. And
Mm.
etc. And Vicky, I was like, for my family, it was hard to say to leave that place because our house, like we cannot see each other. We are four. We can be in the same house and never see each other because there's a lot of room. So everybody have their own place. For them, they're thinking that we're now going to go to something smaller, but mortgage free completely. And but like we won't have that more, it's in a further north instead of the south. Sometimes we're making things so complicated and difficult for ourselves. Vicky, you made the choice to downsize,
Yes.
right? To have a mortgage-free life and etc. And at the end of the day, the situation was not as bad as we thought. It was maybe, I think, even like often is like a hidden benefit to whatever
Yes.
happening in our lives because he helped us see really where we were overspending because for that
Mhm.
period, guys, we cut our food budget by three and we ate
Right.
well and we were fine. So we were anyway overspending. It taught
Hmm.
us so much that period. Yeah.
Yeah, when you don't track what's going out, you can't see exactly how much money that you're wasting. And for us, I'm not sure if you have this in the UK. It's a store called Costco. So you buy
Yes, we do.
everything. Okay, so you buy everything in bulk. And we were like, we can't buy everything in bulk. It's just two of us. Guess who buys in bulk now because it saves us money.
That's a great point, Vicky, because we started Costco at that period.
Hmm.
Costco, you can buy bulk of chicken for not much.
Uh-huh.
And then honestly, that was for so long, that was the best time where we managed our money very well.
Yep.
And we saw that,
Mhm.
oh my goodness, we can live with that, you know? And yeah, sorry, yeah.
No, no,
Yeah.
no. You don't no need to be sorry because we were going to Costco and we'd buy things like paper towels, toilet paper, that kind of stuff. We always thought it was a waste of money to buy the food, and then we realized no, that we need to buy food there. Stop going to the grocery store and buying this little piece of chicken. You go and buy all the chicken. You come home, you separate, and you got chicken for a month.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
need to join Costco.
Yeah, honestly, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like we buy sometimes the food will last 3 to 6 months
Yeah.
because we buy in bulk like the chicken, wings, the legs, the blah blah blah, and then we separate like Vicky said for the number.
Mhm.
Hmm.
And then it lasts for it, and it's so much more economic than going to the Tesco or the local
Mhm.
Yeah.
supermarket. So
The
yeah.
secret the secret for us, since Kim is new to Costco, the secret for us
I'll
is
tell you.
don't buy everything that you see. Make it be
Oh,
like you're gonna go once a month or once every 2 months, and then what you do
Mhm.
is
yeah,
so this month I'm gonna buy chicken, next month I'll buy ground beef, next month I'll buy something else, and
I
you just
tell
and
you.
you separate it, and then you just keep rotating it. You never run out, and like I said, it
exactly.
took us a while to realize the value. Like I started, with the high protein, and I'm started eating a lot more Greek yogurt and cottage cheese. Two small containers at the grocery store is four times the big container. And you know what? If I'm going to buy the big container, it's going to force me to eat my protein.
Yeah.
But what y'all talk about tracking? Because even like right now, where LeBron is like the main earner for us in this transition time. Can't wait. Anyhow, and like I recognize that we spend a lot of foolish money. Like like in England, like everything is like a pound 50 for this and £2 just for that, and it sounds like so cheap. And because I started to do, like, I have this spreadsheet. It's so amazing. I love my spreadsheet. I spent a whole day creating this spreadsheet. And then I did days and days of adding, like you start creating something and then trust me, I can tell you by looking at that spreadsheet how much money is on, how much cash we have, how much money is on all of our accounts. And now, like, we actually are able to save, which we need to anyhow, for this bloody visa. So yeah, like tracking is so important, because if you don't track, you don't recognize what you're spending on. And then
Hmm.
we all think like, oh, this only costs this amount of money and this only costs that. And then I actually even started like to show around like how much he was spending in like fast food and the Costco and the, because obviously I stopped myself from eating those things. Um, so, and he has a sweet tooth for 32 of us, will believe it. Anyhow, and yeah, so now like he's a lot better because he gets to see the numbers. I feel like if you don't, it don't have to be something fancy. You could just, create a little Excel sheet and just put in every single thing in there, so that then
Yeah.
you can actually see what you're spending, and that will open up
Hmm.
your eyes and you can make better money decisions.
Hmm.
Other than just, because people always feel like you have to own a business to have an accountant. No, you could be your own accountant. You can
Yes.
create your own little spreadsheet, manage your money better, so that you can be able to save and invest and do all the important things instead of just buying stuff from Shein every single month just because you can.
Yes. Exactly.
I have Shein people in my family, and trust me, packages come every single month. If they're
I never
watching this, they
ordered
know what
from
I'm
there.
talking about. Every single month, every single week there's a package. There's always
Yep.
a package, and it's like, why you don't? What else do you need? So.
In my family, it's Amazon parcels all the time. My office, that's my office, is downstairs, and they're all upstairs. My husband' office is upstairs, and my daughter for when they work from home. And I'm always opening the door. It's never for me because I don't order, but it's like, my goodness. And when they just had a paycheck, or when they, they had an increase, you see, like, oh my goodness, somebody got money today. It's like parcels every day coming. Yeah, it's funny. We wasting so much, some time, and Anyway, yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
And then, but the thing about it is when you talk about like, yes, we waste money, but then we don't think about the important things like what Vicky talks on her channel. If we are wasting our money now just because we're young and we got it and we are working consistently or whatever, you don't know what's going to happen when you get older. Where's the savings?
Hmm.
Don't depend on the government check. For the pension. Like, please,
yeah,
you got to
Yeah.
set it yourself in a way that because that don't bring a lot of money, and you don't want to have to be going back
Right.
out to work when you're supposed to be retiring. I want to retire early, like 50 or 55, like Vicky. You know,
yeah, yeah. All of us, like,
yeah,
we're following Vicky's footsteps.
yeah.
Retirement at 55.
Yeah, so it was, yeah, like I said, I didn't think I could because of the age, but we downsized. Our expenses are a lot less, and there are other things that we can cut and we could make it work. And so, yeah, I stressed for nothing.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah,
I'm very frugal. I'm like you, Vicky. We get along.
yeah.
I'm so frugal. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I never thought that we would be able to survive on one income, like literally, like, and more because obviously, like, for my profession is a little higher. Obviously, like, in the professional world, I'm a little higher than Lauren in that area. But so I never thought that, we would have to like have this one income.
Hmm.
I'm very good at, if you tell me, like, for example, I'm supposed to eat something. Hey, I heard Vicky said, you got to take care of your health. And I was like, I'm done with this shit. Like, I'm not eating bad anymore. I have to take care of my body. I have to take care of my temple, my body. I have to take care of me so when I can age and I can age and look sexy, you know, too. Because I don't want to age and look droopy down and swaggly about. I don't want that. I want
Can
to
you
age
stop
sexy.
insulting some of us, please?
Yes, please
You
stop.
young
I'm talking
woman.
about as you youngster.
But it's Vicky's fault. Listen, I watch her videos and she says, you got to take care of yourself, you got to take care of your body. And that's why I was
But I
so,
wasn't talking about drooping. I was talking about making sure you could still walk up the stairs.
well, for me, I took it in every area, like for me, it's like when I think of aging, I think of and listening to you, Vicky, because I always visualize that older Kimberly. I want to be still running around behind my grandkids. I want a lot of
Hmm.
grandkids. I want to be running around behind my grandkids. I want, to be that amazing grandmother that the children just always want to go over by. And when the children get the grandchildren get their grandkids, I'm still alive, obviously. You know, that's I have that energy, and I can only have that if I start to take care of me now. Because a lot of people start really, really old, and I don't want to start really, really old because Vicky scared me with her videos. Vicky tells you that if you don't
You
age, if you don't
Okay,
you
I'm gonna bring her back because
I
she's
know you
insulting
like
us now.
digging and digging and digging.
So I'm gonna come back to something Jazz said about being frugal
Mm.
and how we would get along well. So in my house, I have a niece who, uh, when she was a teenager, and now she's an adult. Her mother asked me if I had any Advil or Tylenol, and my niece goes, "Nope," but she got Fadvil and Tylenol.
What's that?
That's me too.
Because all I would ever buy was generics. I wouldn't buy the name brands because you go to
Yeah,
Costco. And if you go to Costco, you will see the Costco brand, which is Kirkland, is like
yeah,
half
yes.
the price of the the regular brand. You get double. So I would always buy those.
Exactly. Earlier my husband was sick and then it like he wanted paracetamol, no ibuprofen, but he has like the fast in a few seconds, like buy some. It's cost so much in pharmacy. I went to give him. I say, I just have the supermarket one, so this one will go in 10 minutes. You'll be fine.
Exactly. Yeah, so
Uh,
Oh
and so I use that all the time now when I have something. I'm like, I have like my my nephew likes comes over. He always wants a Pop Tart, but I don't correct him. But in my house, it's a Pop Tart because I don't buy regular ones.
Yeah, that's me.
Ah, okay, so yeah, that was fun, ladies. Thank you so much. So I will shoot it over to Kim to ask the third question.
Okay, what's one money belief you've had to unlearn as an adult?
I have had to unlearn that you can't take it with you. And my in laws, they had money and they refused to spend it on making their house safer, doing things that they need so that they could age on their terms. And I remember when my father in law came home from the rehab center and we were talking about that we needed to do the bathroom for them because they needed, a bigger walk in shower. And the first thing my mother in law says, well, we can't spend that money. That's for our kids' inheritance. Sorry about that. I didn't see the guy walk up to ring the doorbell. um, uh, I said, no, that's for our kids' inheritance. And we're like, no, that's for you to live. If there's any money left over, then that's an inheritance. You don't put your life on hold to create an inheritance. And I think the book Die with Zero, which I still haven't read yet, that everyone's telling me that I need to read, kind of speaks to that too, is no, we don't live to fund somebody else's future. We live to fund our now and our future. And so I unlearned that really quick when he said that to me. That I don't just accumulate money. I've got to accumulate it, but then I got to use it and spend it wisely on myself.
Yeah, yeah. And I was listening to a lady that I follow online, and she sold everything in the UK to go travel the world and go to Asia and all of that. And a friend, she did a video where she said a friend asked her, but what about the inheritance of your kids? I'm like, I'm sorry, I raised them. I've already gave them the inheritance. I need to look after me. I'm going to spend my money. And it took me a moment
Mhm.
to push back the belief, because that's one of my beliefs as well, to like you need to live for your kids and etc. And I
Mhm.
was putting a lot of my money in Africa to build houses, and so I leave that for my kids, so I've built enough. Nowadays my money goes into my traveling, and so I'm okay with that. I had to unlearn that. I had to unlearn that, you know delaying your joy, you know for, I don't know, thinking that everything will come next, reward, travel, all of that. It's not part of life. It's I don't know.
Yep.
It changed a lot for me. Because I used to believe that we couldn't spend our money in frivolous thing. Traveling is frivolous, um, doing things that you love for you frivolous, because you have to think for
Yep.
the future, etc. I'm not saying that don't save for the future, but don't delay.
Right.
Time is short, So yeah.
I would say putting aside all the time, like, we have this belief, I guess what Jazz was saying, you gotta put aside or whatever, you gotta make sure you got for your kids, you gotta make sure you got for this, for like if you fall sick or whatever, but then you recognize you're not like enjoying life at all. And one
Mhm.
thing too I had to unlearn is that every single cent that I have doesn't mean that just because I've got it, I have to spend it. Because
Yes.
just because I didn't have enough when I was growing up, I was told, you don't have enough, you don't have enough, you don't have enough, we can't afford this. You grew up hearing that. I had to unlearn that lack mentality of I don't have enough, I can't
Mm,
afford it. I actually say now, like if there's something that I quote unquote, don't want to buy, I say I don't want to buy it. I say I don't
Mhm.
want to buy it. I don't say I can't afford it. And I always like I have a friend that I got her into the whole, you can manifest your best life and stuff. And she manifested her whole new job. And one day we were talking at work. She said, I would like like that, but I can't afford it. I said, no, no, no.
Mhm.
You don't want to spend your money on that. Not that you can't afford it. Because saying you
yeah.
can't afford it, you're putting a limit on what you want to afford. Just say you don't want to spend our money on that right now. I'll buy it later. So it's we don't recognize also the power of the tongue. And we came up with I for sure came up with so much lat in my mouth. It's too expensive. How many times do we say it's too expensive? It's okay, yes. I'm not saying like don't shop at your Costco or don't shop at your cheap, your supermarkets or whatever. But that for you is stretching your money. It's not really that you're cheap. You learn to stretch your money, and to buy from the places that make sense, but not that you are, oh, I'm buying here, but then but I'm spending out all my money. It doesn't make sense. You gotta, like Vicky says, like make sure you plan for your future and you invest and all that.
Mhm.
Hopefully, I answer the question. And
No,
I
no, you did, because I think a lot of us came from that, where we didn't have a lot when we were younger, and now that we, have this abundance, like Jazz was saying, her family realized, oh, we are totally overspending. We just go and buy, 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 and we don't really think about how much money is going out. A lot of us were in that boat, and hopefully more people are realizing they don't have to fund capitalism; they need to
Yeah,
fund themselves.
yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, love that. Yeah.
Great conversation, ladies. But
yeah.
you know, I'm gonna throw you another curveball.
Ready.
So, what's one thing this conversation is making you think about differently when it comes to money? And for those of you listening, you can reflect on this. If you feel empowered, you can put your answers in the comments. We will be checking the comments, and we'd love to hear what you're thinking as well.
I think a lot of our decisions are dictated by fear.
Hmm.
A lot of
Mm-hmm.
fear of like whatever society throw at us. You need the big house, the dog, the car, the whatever, like Genesis. And then when you can't achieve it, you like fear. And a lot of even young people, they don't know why they want the big house, they want the car, they want the this
Hmm.
and the kids. It's just because that's what society imprinted in us. So often people will go into debt and all of that to achieve these things that aren't actually their own, you
Right.
know? And then they got that and they're like, well, I'm not happy with my life, I thought I've made it.
Yes.
you know, fear and of what if, of missing out of things that aren't even your own. Yeah, I'm happy that there's a lot of awakening, today with internet and technology. We can read, learn a lot more, and understand that you don't
Hmm.
need the big house and fences. Downsizes is actually healthier to live within your mean and not trying to live just to follow, I don't know, the standard of whom.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just like what you do, Jazz, like when it comes to travel, people don't realize that if it is that you are living within your means, it means you can do more with your money.
100%.
Like you can, you don't need. One thing I've learned from you too, Jazz, is I don't need a lot of money to travel. We are
No.
Mhm.
we are made to believe that you need thousands of dollars to just go
Yeah.
take a trip. And you really don't need thousands of dollars to just take a trip. We watch you travel, Jazz. Like the 1 minute she's supposed to be in the UK and we found out she's in France because she made a video. You know.
Mhm.
I said,
And
know.
thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
and also too, like how Vicky talks about, like the downsizing,
Hmm.
you had the big fancy house and all that, and you're like you downsize, but you know what? The plus side of having someplace smaller, it's less to clean. I
I
only
know.
want a big house.
I
The
know.
honest, like, to be honest, right? For me, my goal is for me to have or say that we are going to get a bigger house. I have to be able to afford to pay somebody to come clean it because I ain't doing it. Ain't no way.
Mhm.
I ain't cleaning no 5 bathrooms and no 6 bed. I ain't doing it. I have to afford somebody to be able to come and take care of the gardening and stuff like that. Other than that, I'll stay with my little small stuff. I don't mind it. I just want some because for me, growing up, not knowing where I'm going to sleep or who's going to take me in or whatever. I am grateful just to have a roof over my head. I'm
Mm-hmm.
grateful to have a comfortable home to be in, to want to be home.
Mhm.
I'm grateful for it all. So, yeah,
It's
there's
funny
my
you talk about downsizing. So here's my funny story about that. We got the big, beautiful house. Now we've never had anything that big before. So we got a house that's got 3 bathrooms in it. So that means 3 toilets. And I remember going into a bathroom that we hadn't walked into in months and calling my mother, go, how come you didn't tell me I still had to clean the toilet if I didn't use it? I didn't know mold would grow if I didn't use the toilet. So it's like what you said, you have to clean spaces you don't even use. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot more cleaning, but then there's also a lot more maintenance. It takes more electricity to run a bigger house. It takes
Yeah.
more, whatever you're using for your heating source to keep it warm, in the cold months. There's so much more that you have to do to a bigger house. And so when we downsize, yeah, the mortgage downsize, but all of the utilities downsized, the maintenance downsized, and it was it's a money saver all around.
Yeah.
Well, I think we beat that up. You guys let us know if you thought of anything different down in the comments. So now it wouldn't be Vicky hosting if there wasn't a rapid fire section. So
Yay.
so how this works is I'm going to throw out a statement. You have about, I'm going to give you a little bit more time than, 10, 15 seconds. But you want to answer with the first thing that comes to mind. This isn't a thinking game. This is a let's see how you really tick type of game. So,
okay.
first one, and for those of you watching, again, answer to yourself or put it in the chat if you feel comfortable. First one money habit I'm glad I changed.
Spending all my money.
Yes.
Tracking without judgment of what I'm spending on. Not being yeah.
For me, not being afraid to spend it on the right things. I don't
Excellent.
have to suffer just to save money.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 2, one thing I spend money on now that actually gives me peace.
My
Oh my
meat?
goodness. What did you say? What did you say?
I said my meat.
Yeah. It's okay. It gives you a peace.
that carnivore person.
I know.
Oh my God.
I
She
know.
said the first thing that comes to your head.
Yeah, definitely. And that's great. That's great. For me, it's experiences, travel. Okay.
Yes.
Gives me joy. It's my life. So yeah, let's spend it. It gives me peace, clarity. So yeah.
I have to say that's mine too because it's helping me age on my terms to get out and not just be in the day-to-day grind all the time. Okay.
I guess I can explain the reason why I said meat. The reason
Oh
why I
yes.
said meat was because of my weight loss. It's helping me to lose weight.
Yeah.
Easy,
You're because you're doing
effortlessly, and
carnivore.
yeah, but not full
Yeah.
on carnivore because I'm
Well, high protein.
yeah,
Very, very
but
high
I just
protein.
don't have carbs completely. Yeah,
Mhm. Okay.
I still
Okay.
eat junk.
Number 3, one money stress I've let go of.
One money
One
stress out.
one one
Money
It's kind
stress
of like
out.
number 1, but
One money stress out. Like,
try,
whoa.
trying to look financially okay to others. I'm saying that because I mean I should not explain, but it's like, yeah, in Africa, you are when you come from the diaspora, you are rich.
mhm,
And sometimes you try to look the part.
mhm,
I'm like, hell with that. Thank you. No.
yes.
You know?
Oh, my one money stress would be dressing to look like, like to impress. Yeah, like
Mm,
how I guess it's similar to what Jazz is saying, but you want to look like if you got everything together. I dress for
yeah.
comfort
Look the part.
now.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
literally dress for comfort now.
Yeah, mine is Kimberly's statement that she said not too long ago was looking like if.
Mm, yeah. I think we're all saying the same
Yes,
thing. Look at
looking
Yeah,
the
looking
part.
as if you have money.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then you're at expense.
Okay, number 4. One thing I'm still figuring out financially.
I
One thing
want
I'm
to
still
learn
figuring.
more. Sorry, go ahead, Jazz.
It's okay. For me, it would just be like how to balance my freedom because I love traveling and I spend a lot of money on my travel with long term security savings that feel like a line, right? Making
Hmm.
sure that I'm still okay for tomorrow,
Right.
right? But I think I made enough investment, it, that would pay off. So yeah, but I'm still figuring it out.
Hmm.
For me, I would say one thing I'm still figuring out financially is I want to get more into investments. But obviously, that's when I get my full-time job and we settle and stuff
Hmm.
like that. But I want to not only get more into, I want to know it like so good. Because you hear people talk about investing. Yes, I know
Hmm.
about investing in property and stuff like that, but there are other things that you can also investing
Right.
on. It's just getting knowledgeable about those things.
Yeah. For me too, it's while I know some stuff, I don't like you. I don't know as much as I think I should, and I want to make sure that should something ever happen to Michael where I actually have to take over, I know exactly what the heck I'm doing
Yeah.
Mm.
because I know a little bit, but he knows it all. And when he starts to talk to me, and it's like, what is he talking about? Why is he talking to me? Why is he still talking?
Oh
And
yeah,
I got to stop being that way, and I got to really sit down and learn it.
Yeah.
that's a
Yeah.
great one, Vicky. Yeah, I need to jump into this one because when we had that situation with the house and my husband was on, you know, an unemployed, when we were doing the account for the house, I was like, really? Who is our mortgage lender already? Who is, but not the mortgage lender, but there's a lot of things
Right.
that I was just not paying attention because
Hmm.
Honestly.
he's handling this and I really don't want to handle a lot of these things. No, it's very important to be, to have your input as well in how um,
Yeah.
money is being that, right? Because then I was like, but you didn't tell me this and this, and I'm like, well, he didn't have to tell me. I had to be present and be involved also, but not just letting things. Yeah. Anyway.
I saw a meme recently that says marriage is just um, one person running to the next person and go, "What was that code they just sent you?" Because one person does all of that stuff, but because it's in the other person's name, it goes to their phone or their email, so they need it to
Yes.
finish doing what they're doing. And I'm like, I got to stop doing that. There's a lot of things that I've like been fully invested in and really put my attention to, and then all the ones I never really cared about, I just went like,
Yeah.
you just take care of it. But I have to be more adult now.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of
Yeah.
like plug myself into hours where the one is the one that naturally just deals with the physical money. And I just plug myself in by creating my spreadsheet. I create a spreadsheet. So I have everything that happens, I have to know about it. So listening to you all that have been married for so many years made me feel really good just now to see that I'm actually trying to make sure that I'm involved because
It's
I want to
good.
know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
thank you for taking that.
I'm gonna rephrase mine. It's not that I'm not involved. I gotta start paying attention.
Attention,
The
that's what I
same,
mean.
same
I'm
as you,
actually
Vicky.
serious with it. Yeah.
And I don't like that thing of the UK, and I now understand that you have that in the US, where bills come to the name of one and not the other
Yes.
sometime, and then I'm dealing with my bills and you're dealing with this or something like that, and you're not aware. Or sometimes you
Mhm.
have roles, and you just discharge everything to the other. You don't have my
Hmm.
role. I do my things, so do yours. No, it
Mhm.
should be that you have to pay attention time to
Together.
time.
Yeah.
And I told you last time, water issue. Where do you turn the whole water in the house? I have no idea. Ask my husband.
So now I'm laughing because it was like the first thing that comes to mind. Of course, we always take it to a conversation because
Yeah.
that's how we are. Okay, I got one more because and then we'll wrap it up. But one word for how money feels to me right now.
Good.
I think I would go to the same one as last week or whenever. Evolving, always evolving.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I think mine is balance. I'm finding my balance with saving, investing versus spending on the right things.
It feels good for me because I'm actually not living paycheck to paycheck anymore. I'm not even having a proper
Good.
paycheck and I'm living. So that that in itself is a wow for me.
Okay, ladies, before we wrap this up, and we're actually like, well, got plenty of time left, is there anything that you would like to share with the audience? Anything that they can expect on your channels, or just anything more you want to share on the topic?
I think we should stop seeing money as a taboo, even in a couple, or just like, people speak rarely about money. It's so taboo, and it should be something that we all saying, right? It should be taught at school how to manage money. Money should be a conversation because it's something that is part of our daily lives. And, you know, we shouldn't be learning how to balance a paycheck or a balance sheet only when we're 30. It's something that
Yeah.
should be taught in, secondary school,
Hmm.
right? For people to be able to stop that capital. I never pronounced that properly.
Yeah,
Say it
stop chasing capitalism.
exactly. Okay. So it need to be taught. But of course, the curriculum is made by, okay, no, let's stop that here.
Mhm.
Because I was going elsewhere. Let's just stop here.
I agree with you, Jazz. And I do plan even when I get my children because when me and Lauren get our kids together, that I do plan to teach them accounting from a very young age. Teach them because I yes, I started the budget now, but obviously this is something that's going to follow us throughout our relationship, and that's something that I promised myself to get my children into so that they could understand. And I think that if like you say, if children only found out about how to manage money from a younger age, then
Mhm.
they wouldn't have to be, when they reach now, start working or whatever, they don't know how to try to figure it out. And one of the things too, I find to like a lot of people, you find out like, oh, this is how much I'm getting paid. One thing that I believe adults should all know, what's your how to calculate your income
Mhm.
tax or your VAT, that's going to come off your paycheck. Know the deductions that's coming off because you want to make sure you're calculating that all the time so that you know if any day that your employer like underpays you or overpays you or whatever, or like what happened to Laurent the other day because he had he had an email from HMRC about his tax code changing. When I did my investigation with the accounting brain I have, I recognized that he was getting charged double tax than he was supposed to. So I had to go in now and go change it. Now, if it was left up to him, he would have gotten that, and that would have happened until HMRC recognized the error, and then he would have missed out on money that he could have spent like in months to now get a quote unquote refund. No, so
Mhm.
I feel that if paychecks were discussed in school and like you say, accounting, but not only if you go to the accounting class, it should be a general thing, or even if
Mhm.
parents like we or our children or the children around us the knowledge to understand money, understand the value, how to budget
Mhm.
it, how to spend it, and also how to calculate paychecks, like
Mhm.
Yeah.
it's
And
I
yeah, and it should be like a combination of the parents and the school because you can't teach
yeah,
whatever you want to your kids at home. There's the influence of outside, and kids
yeah,
spend I don't know how many 90%, 80% of the
yeah,
time at school influenced by that. So
Mhm.
if it's like a whole, I think it's like a whole program. It should be, yeah, the curriculum need to include that. So parents and school work together, society as a whole. Anyway, that's another story.
And
Yeah.
so yeah, here in America, we don't deep dive enough. And so I'm actually when I post this, I will leave a link to a new channel that just recently started up, and it's called Ace in the Hole. And he really dives in, and he's talking to children, to young adults and people in school, to try to teach them and how give them that foundation for saving and investing now. And it also gives some education to the parents too about what they can do, types of investments they can set up, and accounts that they can set up for their kids. So I will definitely share that because I found it kind of fascinating that people are coming onto YouTube and filling the void of the things that we're not getting in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's great.
So, money gets heavy when we don't talk about it. It gets lighter when we do, as you can see from this conversation. When we make choices we can live with and stop assuming we're behind or doing it wrong, it makes life so much better. So, thank you for joining us at the table today. If this conversation helped you in any way, please give it a like, share it with someone that needs to hear it. If you haven't already subscribed to our channels, go ahead and check us out. Subscribe. I will leave links to all of the channels in the description and in the pinned comment below. Again, thank you for joining us at the table today. And don't forget, live boldly, age wisely, and manifest intentionally. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
ladies.
Bye.
Bye.